endured forever. It is a blessing and a privilege to keep the Shabbat with the children of Israel. Today, we are preparing for the Feast of the Tabernacle, which will start sundown this evening and be held in Quiet Waters Park in Deerfield Beach, Florida. So our service today is going to be shorter than usual. Okay. What we're going to do is, you might notice I've shortened the prayers, and we're going to pick up Psalms 133 and Psalms 150 at the end of the portion. There will not be a lunch break. Once we finish the portion, then we are going to begin to set up and prepare for the tabernacle, the beginning of the tabernacle, dwelling in booths, spending that week out. So you can, if you are going to be setting up, you can at that time go to Quiet Waters Park, or if you're just visiting, you can go there as well. You can just help out, set things up, and because we have to break this all down and set it all up out there. Done? Done. All right, so we got to prepare, and Most High has been gracious with the weather, so I think it's going to be a smooth transition because it looks like clear skies. All right, so we're going to get right into the portion. We're going to get this understanding. The portion for the Shabbat, the portion of the Torah that we're going to review today is Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, from 1 to 52, which is the whole chapter. So we're going to look at Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. A lot of information in this chapter, right? A lot of prophecy in this chapter. So we're going to look at these prophecies, their questions, their answers, and we're going to kind of move right through it, all right? So let's get Colossians 3, verse 17. First and foremost, giving all praises to the Most High, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of Hamashiach Yahushua. Give thanks to Yahweh and the Abba by him.
Right, so we always give thanks to the Most High in the name of our anointed Savior, in the name of the Son of the Father, right, our King, the finisher of our faith, Hamashiach Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ. But we know his name to be Hamashiach Yahushua, or he's a Hebrew.
Amen.
Right? And we Hebrews, right? Yahushua didn't speak Greek, right? It's not that he couldn't speak Greek, but when he chose to speak, he spoke Hebrew, right? Even when he spoke from the heavens, he spoke Hebrew. This is why we say our prayers in English and in Hebrew, okay? Not that, and why it's necessary, because we understand its power in the Hebrew language. Give me Acts 21. Let's start with maybe 40. Matter of fact, no, start with 37. 37. Mm-hmm.
The book of Acts, chapter 21, and verse 37. Acts 21 and verse 37.
Right.
And as Paul was to be led into the castle,
right,
he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee?
right,
Who said, Canst thou speak Greek?
right. Canst thou speak Greek? Right, we know.
Art not thou the Egyptian, which before these days madest an uproar, and leddest out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers?
Right, come on.
But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarshish, a city of Cilicia, a citizen of no mean city.
A what?
No mean city.
Right, so now, what language is Paul speaking at this point? He's speaking Greek. So Paul can speak Greek. You understand that? Greek.
And I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people.
Right?
And when he had given him license.
So he said, okay, go ahead and speak to the people. Right? He wanted to converse with the people. Let's see what happened. Read on.
And when he had given him license, Paul stood on the stairs,
right,
and beckoned with the hand unto the people.
Right?
And when there was made a great silence, he spake unto them in the Hebrew tongue.
In the Hebrew tongue, he decided to speak unto the people. It's not that they didn't understand Greek. Because remember, at this time on earth, Greek was the main language. Like how English is today. But he sought to speak to them in the Hebrew tongue. Why? Because he's going to speak to them of things pertaining to Most High. Read on, 24 to 27.
Saying, men, brethren, and fathers, hear ye my defense, which I have made now unto you.
Right?
And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them,
right,
they kept us more silence. And he said,
right,
I am verily a man which am a Jew.
Right, but what you pointed out there is when they heard him speak in Hebrew, they shut down. Yeah. Because Hebrew is a very powerful language. We're not to take lightly when we speak the Lashon Kodash or we speak whatever dialect of Hebrew. Because when we speak the Hebrew, this is what they're speaking in the heavens. Prove it. Acts 26, verse 14. Get Acts 26, verse 14.
The book of Acts, chapter 26, and verse 14. Acts 26 and 14. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue.
In the what tongue?
Hebrew tongue.
Read on.
Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks.
Who's speaking to Saul? Moses. Yahushua is speaking to Paul. All right? From the heavens. That's why it should be written in red in your Bible, okay? That's Yahushua speaking to Paul. He's speaking in what? In Hebrew. Doesn't Paul know Greek? He was just speaking in Greek. Why did Yahushua converse to him in Greek? Right? Why did he speak to him in Greek? Right? Most High made all languages. I mean, I'm pretty sure Yahushua knew all languages. Right? There's power in Hebrew. Okay? This is why we give ourselves Hebrew names. This is why we try to converse one another and learn the Hebrew language. Because there's power in speaking the Hebrew tongue. Everybody understand that? All right, so there's a couple scriptures on, why we say the prayers in Hebrew and then in English. We say it in English so you know what you're saying, but we actually send the prayer up in the Hebrew tongue. Everybody understand that? All right. So the English is just so you know what you just said. And some of us will repeat the Hebrew, but we already know what we're saying, right? So that's why we are also say it in English afterwards, just so you know what you just said. Okay, so Hebrew is very important. We can learn most Hebrew we can learn. Let us learn and let us converse in our language, because that language is given to us by the Father. Okay, that's not a fatherless language. That language is given to us by the Most High God. So we are to converse in the Hebrew language. All right. With that being said, let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's get to the portion. Deuteronomy 32 The book of Deuteronomy 32, verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 1. Give ear, O ye heavens,
Right?
and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth.
Right?
My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew,
Right?
as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass.
Right. So he said, my doctrine, right, shall drop. Right? His lessons, his understanding, what he teaches the people shall be righteous. Okay? What do we use for doctrine? What should we use for doctrine? Give me 2 Timothy 3 and 16. Right? 2 Timothy 3 and 16. What should we be using for doctrine? Okay. Something we ought to follow. Read that.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh.
Right?
And is profitable for doctrine.
For what?
For doctrine.
All scripture, right, is profitable for doctrine. So if someone tells you something is right or wrong, and they try to direct you or guide you, that's what doctrine does. It directs and guides you. What do they have to use?
Scripture.
They have to use scripture. Everybody understand this?
Right.
If you go somewhere and they try to give you doctrine and they don't pull no scripture, then their doctrine is incorrect. Everybody understand that?
Right.
If you try to give correction or direction and you don't give no scripture, your doctrine is incorrect. Huh?
Right.
Right? Because what goes for them goes for us. We're not hypocrites. Right? What we teach, we do. Read on.
For reproof.
Okay.
Precept.
Precept.
Well, I got a precept.
Oh, you got a precept. Oh, what's precept?
Proverbs 4 and 2.
All right, look at that. Let's finish where you're at.
For correction. For instruction
Right.
in righteousness.
For correction, for instruction in righteousness. So that's what we use scripture for. For doctrine, correction, and instruction to righteousness. Okay. So we must have scripture. Proverbs 4 and 2.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 2. For I give you good doctrine.
I give you what?
Good doctrine.
For I give you good doctrine, good instruction, good guidance. Read on.
Forsake ye not my law.
Forsake not the laws of God. Right? Don't leave the law of the Heavenly Father. Therefore, you will have good doctrine. Okay. For our learning? Yeah, that's good. Okay. All these are written for our learning. We'll write that down. I'm not going to get that. Go back to
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 2. My doctrine shall drop as the rain,
right?
My speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass.
Come on.
Because I will publish the name of the Most High.
Because I will do what?
Publish the name of the Most High.
Because I will publish the name of the Heavenly Father. What does it mean to publish something? Make known. Exactly. Make it known. Make the name of Yahweh known. Make his presence known. Don't hide it. Don't hide the fact that you serve God, that you serve the mighty power of Yahweh. All right? Don't be ashamed of it. All right? You can never be ashamed of the truth. All right? Whatever the truth is, that's what it is, as they say. Right? It is what it is. Right? Because it's the truth. We have to be able to hear the truth, accept the truth. Right? Sometimes it may not be the nice thing to say or the most comfortable thing, but it is the truth. And it takes a level of courage and bravery to sit on the truth and don't lie to try to make things so-called better. And all you do is make things worse. Right? Bring out the truth. Okay. Read.
Verse 3. Because I will publish the name of the Most High, ascribe ye greatness unto our power.
Okay.
He is the rock, his work is perfect. For all his ways are judgment, a power of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves, their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation.
Yeah, what?
A perverse and crooked generation.
Who is he talking? Who's Moses talking about? He's talking about us, man. When we leave the oracles of the Most High, we become a perverse and crooked people. Okay? Because the nature of man is perverse and crooked. You know? People may not want to accept that. Oh, I'm a good person. No, you're perverse and crooked. Right? If you're not doing Yah's will, you're doing something perverse and crooked. Right? Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. I believe it is. You can make sure.
Fine.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 13.
Right?
Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked?
Right. If the Most High made something crooked, the creator of heaven and earth created something and said it's going to be crooked. It's going to be perverse. You can't make it better. It's going to be what it is. Because he's the creator. Has not the potter power over the clay? Right? As the scripture said. If you're the one that's created, if you got clay and you making something, and I'm going to make this crooked. Right? Who's going to stop you? Right? You cannot straighten what the Most High made crooked. You can't say, oh, man, it's changed. Oh, we was crooked back then. We're not crooked anymore. The ways of mankind is crooked. Man's heart leads to evil. Does everybody understand this?
God.
When you humble yourself, you got to humble yourself to the Most High God and his way, not to man. Because if you yield yourself to man's ways, then what? You're going to be even more increased in your perverseness and your crookedness. Okay? We're going to explore those thoughts, all right, and make sure that we understand what's being said via Scripture. All right. I'll read that verse again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 13. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked?
Right. Who can make it straight? That which he had made crooked. He's already made it crooked. You cannot straighten it out. You can't straighten out America. You can't fix the issues of the social problems in America. You're wasting your time. For it was made to be crooked. You can't make the oppressor right. You can't save him from his evil. For he was made to be evil. You understand that the Most High made good and evil? Let's get that real quick. Let's get that understanding. Get Isaiah.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light,
Right?
and create darkness.
So the Heavenly Father said, I formed the light and I created darkness. Who's speaking? The Most High, right? The creator of heaven and earth. He said, I made the light and I made the darkness. Read on.
I made peace
I made peace
and create evil.
and I created evil. You got to understand that. That's the key to following Yahweh. Knowing that he is Lord and creator of all things. Read on.
I, the Most High, do all these things.
I, the Most High, do all these things. So the evil was created for you to what? Refuse it. Okay. And the good was created for you to what? Choose it. Very simple. Right? We make it more complicated. The nature of man is not the nature of the Heavenly Father. Give me Isaiah 55 and verse 8.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 55, and verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Most High.
Right, the Most High said, you can't look inside your mind and find me. You got to look inside this word to find your house. This word is what he left us. This is the comforter. The spirit is within the word. You can't be filled with the spirit if you're not filled with the word. Everybody understand that? This is key. You have to be filled with the word to be filled with the spirit. Why? Because the word is what? The word is spirit. Give me a verse. This is the word is spirit.
St. John 6 and 63.
St. John 6 and 63. That's right. Let's get it. St. John 6 and 63. These are the lessons that you have to always keep within your mind. St. John 6 and verse 63.
The book of St. John, chapter 6, and verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
Come on.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit.
They are what?
They are spirit.
The word is spirit. The word is spirit. Okay. That's why the scriptures say the word became flesh and walked amongst us. Why? Because Yahweh, he was the walking word. Christ was the walking word. He was the walking will of the Most High, which is written in the word. Okay. So your spirit is based on the word that you have received. Whether it be you reading it or it was told to you, it's his word. Okay. That's why it was so important that the Most High leave these documents. That's why all the prophets bear record and wrote things down. Why? So that you can have the word today. The prophets of old was looking out for you today. Because they said, how can they turn to the Father if they don't have the word? Right? You read about that in Ezra. That he had to write the word so that we would have the word of the Most High. So then we could find him. Right? A lot of people think, oh, they're going to just meditate, or they got to go to some special place. They got to go to the Holy Land. They got to go dipped in water and looking for the Most High. All the time he's right here. Right? You searching for something. You ever search for something, think you lost it? It was, right? Looking for my glasses the other day, and they were in my head. So no matter how far I looked, and everything I picked up, guess what? I wasn't going to find it. Why? Because he was sitting right here. Right? So, same thing with the Spirit of the Most High. A lot of our people, they got the Bible, but they're still looking for some other spiritual height. I don't know what they're looking for, some height or spirit, right? So they, oh, let me go get dunked in this water, or let me go to this place, or let me go to this mosque, or let me go to this temple, or let me go to this land, looking for some other spirit. You got the spirit. You got it already. All you got to do is hearken, read, fulfill it, manifest it, walk in the ways of the word. Then you got the spirit. What are you looking for? Go back to Deuteronomy 32.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verse 6. Do ye thus requite the Most High, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father that hath brought thee? Have he not made thee and established thee?
Go on.
Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations.
Come on.
Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Come on.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance,
Right?
when he separated the sons of Adam.
When he separated what? He separated the sons of Adam.
Mhm.
He separated the sons of Adam. He didn't integrate the sons of Adam. He separated the sons of Adam. Read on.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
According to what?
The children of Israel.
According to the number of the children of Israel. Okay. So he separated the sons of Adam, right? But then he chose one of the sons. He chose a nation called Israel. And he set the bounds according to those children that he chose. Read on.
For the Most High's portion is his people.
Right. For the Most High portion is what?
His people.
For the Most High's portion is his people. This is what they have to consider. Read on.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Give me Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. 17 and 16 and 17.
The book of Ecclesiasticus in the Red Apocrypha is page 80, chapter 17, verse 16.
Come on.
Every man from his youth is given to evil.
Right. Every man from his youth is given to evil. What does that say? For when you're born, right, you're born in the midst of evil. Okay? When you come into this world, this is an evil world. Read.
Neither could they make to themselves fleshy hearts for stoning.
Right. Meaning that what? Their heart, meaning that their mind is prone towards evil. It's like children. You can never, I always bring this example up, you never have to train a child to do wickedness. Right? You don't have to tell a child how to sin or how to do the wrong thing. You always got to tell them how to do the right thing. The wrong thing, they'll pick that up on their own. They'll grab it right out the sky. Right? Who taught you how to lie? Nobody had to teach your child how to lie. That comes with the flesh that they're in. You don't got to teach them how to steal. That comes with the flesh that they're in. What you got to teach them is not to steal, not to lie. Right? That's what you got to teach them. You can't expect them to just know that. They don't just know that. They learn from your example and by your words, which is spirit. Read.
Verse 17. For in the division of the nations.
For in the what?
For in the division of the
We
nations.
just read about the division of the nations, right? You know?
Of the whole earth.
Of the what?
Of the whole earth.
All the nations on the earth, you know?
He set a ruler over every people.
Every people had a ruler, right? Every nation got a king.
Mm-hmm.
Call him a president, an ambassador, what else? What other names they give him? An emperor, a pharaoh, right? A Caesar. Every nation on the earth have a king, right? But what about us? Who's our king? Let's see. Read on.
But Israel is the Most High's portion.
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh is our king. Okay? He has given us Yahweh to reign over us, his son. Every other nation, he let them have a king. But I have a king. You know, set somebody up. He set up Nimrod. He set up Nebuchadnezzar. You understand that? He set up Antiochus Epiphanes. He set up Alexander the Great. He set up Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Because every nation got to have a king, right? He set up King Jong-un. Do you understand that? He determines who's king, the Most High God. Let's prove that. I'm saying a lot of things, right? They might say, well, he said that, but he really proved it. Right? Daniel 4. I mean, you can prove it a couple different places. Where you would go? The king's heart? No. We're going to set up the king. Daniel.
The book of Daniel, chapter 4, and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers.
Right, by the angels. Right? Go ahead.
And the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Right?
And giveth it to whomsoever he will.
He giveth it to whomsoever he will. He set up these rulers. Read on.
And set up over it the basis of men.
And he can set up over it a man that you like, this man ain't nothing. Right? He not even bright, he not even smart. Right? But he put him over it. Y'all remember, what was that, young Bush? George W. Bush, the young one? That guy wasn't too bright. But he was the president. Right? Now you're dealing with Trump. Everybody took, oh my God, I can't believe what he just said. But he's the president of the top nation on the earth. And he cannot put together and form I can't even give a whole sentence, a phrase that makes sense from beginning to end. He cannot formulate his thought, and he can speak it out, and it makes sense. What do you say? Everybody looking at each other every he talk like, what is that? I didn't get it. But he's a president. Why? Because the Most High made folly out of him. He made folly out of the white man and sent this man over there. So look at y'all. Y'all look at y'all now. Look at y'all now. Right? Psalm 75, verse 6. Psalm 75, verse 6.
The book of Psalm, chapter 75, and verse 6.
Right?
For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south.
You know?
But the Most High is the judge.
But the Most High is a judge. He determines who gets promoted, who gets put on top. He's the judge. He'll judge the matter. If he wants to put a fool in office, he'll put a fool in office. Right? If you want to put a charismatic speaker, like back in Barack Obama's administration, and everybody, you can form sentences and phrases and stuff. Yeah, good. But you know, like the scripture say, his words were smooth as oil, right? But what? Drawn swords. Okay. So yeah, everybody fooled and lullaby. I just love Barack Obama. Meanwhile, he's passing laws to put a third bathroom in your children's school.
Yeah. Okay. Same sex marriage.
Meanwhile, he's promoting and establishing same-sex marriage. But he talks so nicely. Right?
Yeah.
Good speech giver. I used to say, like Michael X said, good diction. Right? Speak well. Right? But all the time, what? You never got a house. Right?
Yep.
So you have to understand, these things are set up. Most High see what's going on. He sets all these things and he's in control. The more we understand that the Father's in control, the more we understand how to serve him and what it takes to serve him. We can't be thinking that, okay, this is my worldly life and this is my spiritual life. Yah is in both sides. Right? He's on both sides of your life. He's in your financial office. He's in your bedroom. Yahweh's there. There's nothing without Yahweh. And when you realize that, then you know how to serve, how to keep yourself wholly unto the Father. Okay. And everything that you do, you bless his name. All right? Because you cannot do evil and bless his name. You see? Let's go back to Deuteronomy.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 10. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 10. He found him in a desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings.
Right, so what? The Most High protected us.
Yeah.
Brought us out of Egypt, brought us through the wilderness. There's other nations out there that want to come against us, protect us. They couldn't stand up against Israel. And he flew with us, right? His chariot in the sky. Read on.
Verse 12. So the Most High alone would lead him, and there was no strange power with him.
Right, come on.
He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields.
Come on.
And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock.
Right.
Butter of kine and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape.
Right, man. So what? He gave us the best of everything.
Yeah.
Right? He gave us the best of everything, man. Mhm. And he gave us, he said give you honey out of a rock. What does that mean? He gave you, when it was nothing, he made something. If there was a lack of something, the Most High created it for us. Right? He made sure we lacked nothing. What man can't do, man can't get oil out of a flinty rock, but the Most High can. And he did that for Israel. All right? Read on.
Verse 15. But Jeshurun
But Jeshurun
waxed fat.
We wax fat. That means what? What do you mean to wax fat?
Sitting pretty.
Sitting pretty. You know what I mean? We was, we started feeling ourselves. We was like, man, you know what? We doing all right. Right? He said, Jeshurun waxed fat. He said, Israel was, y'all living large. Sometimes you be like, there used to be a show on TV way back in the days. You show your age if you know this one. Lifestyle and Rich and Famous. Right? Robin Leach, you see, you show your age right now. All right? You earned them grades. All right? So, that used to be on TV and catch you sit back and watch that and be like, man, these cats got money for days. They live in large. Lifestyles of the rich and famous, man, they breaking 100,000 a day type crazy stuff. Right? On things. All the dainties of this earth was at their fingertips. Okay? So we know what it means to wax fat. We've seen it. We know what it is. Right? That means your money is no option. You understand that? Well, how much it costs? Well, if you have to, these are places where, if you have to ask how much it costs, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to even ask the price. You're supposed to say, let me get one of those. The price is of no option. Right? That's a whole nother level right there. Right? Right? You generationally rich in this world, in this kingdom. Okay? So Jeshurun was looking like that at this point. They were waxing fat. Israel was paid. We would care for nothing. Right?
But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness.
Right?
Then he forsook Yahweh which made him.
Then he did what?
Forsook the Most High which made him.
And that's what happens. Mm-hmm. When we have too much, we forsake the Father that made us. This is why Solomon, in all his wisdom, said, give me not riches nor poverty. Let's get that real quick. Proverbs 30 and verse 8.
Why do you call Israel Jeshurun?
Jeshurun is another name for Israel, for another translation of Jerusalem, or so when you learn Hebrew, that's why I say very important to understand. Yorah, what does Jerusalem mean? Huh?
City of peace, right?
Say a word in Hebrew, Yorah Shalom. Yorah Shalom. Yorah Shalom. Shalom is peace, right? So it's two words. It's Yorah Shalom, right? So it's not really a city of peace, but a place of peace, or a time of peace, right? Yorah Shalom, right? So when you look at the Hebrew, this Jeshurun just means like the at peace. Just another word of saying at peace. So we're at peace. These people are at peace. They're a place of peace. They're all these things the Most High put upon us, right? Like Solomon's name, right? It's peaceful. You know what I mean? Everything. So we understand how we understand what all these words are linked together when we read it in the Hebrew. That's why it's very important that we understand the Hebrew. Because this, when we read Jeshurun, it just sounds like the name of another place. Right? And you understand that all these things represent Israel. Okay? Read on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 7. Two things have I required of thee.
Right?
Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies.
Right?
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
Give me neither poverty nor riches. Read on.
Feed me with food convenient for me.
Give me what I need. Let me be content. I got what I need. My bills are paid. Got a little something here. I'm not, there's nothing to worry. I'm good right there. I don't need to have 9 bathrooms in my house, right? Right? I don't need that. I don't need an 8-car garage when I only can drive 1 car at a time anyway, right? A lot of our people like excessive. Most High, that's not the spirit of Most High to live excessive. Right? Read on.
Lest I be full,
right,
and deny thee.
See that? Lest I be so full, I deny the Most High. I forget about the Father. I'm full. If I need something, I go get it. Right? I don't like the weather. I jump on a plane, change the forecast. Where's it sunny today? Fly me over there. Right? There's an old cartoon we used to watch, Richie Rich. His dog Dollar. I'm really gonna see when the age. We're gonna take age out here. And his dog Dollar. Right? Rich is I don't know what, right? They just fly where they want to fly, and that's it. All right. So we understand the mentality that came over Israel when we was waxing fat, caked and full of fatness. We was just like, we don't need nothing. Whatever you start getting pride get in your spirit. What you mean? You know who I am? As we start asking questions like that. Do you know who I am? Who are you? What is that so important? But he said you get full and deny the Most High. Read on.
And say, who is the Most High?
Who is the Most High? Right? White man started talking about, I'm God. When they got too much money, they said, I'm God. When they got too much power, they start thinking they're God. All right. Read on.
Or lest I be poor and steal.
All right. And be poor and be ashamed, do shameful things. Because poor people tend to do shameful things just to get by. Right? So he said, I can't be shameful. Be poor. Right? So I need to be what? I need to be what's convenient for me. What's content. I need to be content with that, with what I need. As long as my needs are covered, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't gotta be rich. Right? A lot of us still, we play that lotto, we want to hit that mega ball, And we start thinking, man, $400 million. Right? I said, man, you will be under 400 million sins by the time you're done. Right? You can't even see the Most High. Right? Right? Satan will carry you 400 million ways. All right? So just keep that in mind, that dream of being filthy rich in his kingdom is just going to cause you to be consumed by the wickedness of his kingdom. Nobody tells you to be poor. Definitely not. Don't be impoverished. But have what's convenient for you. Have what you need. Right? What you got?
Oh, precept.
I know you got precept.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29, verse 21.
Okay.
The chief thing for life is water.
Is what?
Is water.
The chief thing for life is what? You know what I mean? Read on.
And bread.
Now come on.
And clothing.
Read on.
And a house to cover shame.
And a house to cover shame. So when you're naked, your neighbors don't see you. Right? You got a house, right? I've been in the island. I've been to see where you ain't got no bathroom in your house. When you bathe, where you bathe at? In the yard. Right? No house to cover your shame. Right? So when you see these things, you go, like, damn, now I know what the scriptures talk about. We go up in America, we don't know nothing about that. Now, maybe there's some parts of rural America and you can see that in the South somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? You might find some area. But you go out to certain other countries, they ain't no, you ain't got no bathroom, your neighbor ain't got no bathroom. You bathing outside, they bathing outside. Anybody come with shame. They ain't got no place to go. What you gonna do? Okay. To show you that these are different levels of financial status. Okay, on this earth. All right, is that on that?
There's one more verse. It says, better is the life of a poor man, right, in a mean cottage, right, than delicate fare in another man's house.
Right. So a poor man in a mean cottage, because he has his own place, then you live in delicately amongst the wicked. Okay, so better that. All right, let's go down. Let's go back.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verse 15. But Joshua waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
Read on.
It provoked him to jealousy, right, with strange gods, right, with abominations provoked they him to anger.
Right, so what? We anger the Most High when we put our faith in other things. We put our faith in money, government, in politics. We anger the Most High because he told us he's a jealous power. Okay? Give me Exodus 20. Verse 3.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 3.
Come on.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
He said, don't have no other God before me. That's a statement like, listen, I'm the only God.
Right.
Okay. I want all the attention. The Most High want all the attention.
Yeah.
He don't want to share it. You can have a lot of things, you can't have another God.
Right.
Right? Why does he say this? Read on.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Don't even make a fake God. Don't even make a graven image, which is a fake God. I don't want to see you with no other God but me. No fake God, no made-up God, no image God. Read on.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Come on.
Or that is in the earth beneath. Or that is in the water under the earth.
He don't care where you found it at. He's saying, I'm going to be the only God. Read on.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
Right?
But I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power.
I'm a what?
Jealous power.
Now, if somebody who's jealous, what do they want from you?
Oh.
all your attention. Right? You can't give nobody no attention. Because they're jealous. Most I said, he's a jealous power, but his jealousy is a righteous jealousy. Because he's allowed to be jealous of you in his position. He is the creator. He is your creator. So he has every right to be jealous of you. All right? Read on. Is that on there?
Yeah.
Right. No, visiting iniquity. No, read on.
Okay. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Right. So what? If you make me jealous, I'm not just going to be mad for one generation. I'm going to be mad at you for generations. Okay? The third and fourth generation, I'm still going to have issues. Because why? You want to go serve other gods. You want to give other people my credit. Right? He said he's a jealous power. Okay? Get Exodus 34:14.
The book of Exodus, chapter 34, and verse 14. Exodus 34 and verse 14. For thou shalt worship no other God, for the Most High, whose name is jealous.
Right? Whose name is jealous. For the Most High, whose name is jealous. So he's not just telling you he's jealous. He let you know, I am the epitome of jealous. All right? He has no tolerance for you having other gods, for you trusting in other powers, for you having what do you call that, Lucky Charm? Being superstitious and having what do you call it, Lucky Charms, when they have stuff where they believe it.
Rabbit foot.
Rabbit's foot, something like that. What do they call that again?
Yeah, rabbit foot.
Lucky Charm, right? Yeah, charms. He has no tolerance for these things. Right? 4 clover leaves and
Foot.
a horse foot.
Horseshoe.
Oh, a horse. Oh, okay, right. I ain't never heard of a woman out with a horse foot. Like, there's a level of witchcraft right there. Right, a horseshoe. Right. Right. I heard of a horseshoe. Right. Gad used to be going on with the dream catchers. Right. Oh, you catch the dream. You're a net next to your bed. What are you doing? Right. Most of the time, I don't got tolerance for this stuff. My name is jealous. You know?
Verse 15. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land,
Right.
and they go a whoring after other gods.
This is what happens. You make a covenant with the people. Next, you know, you find with these other nations. He let them have their fake gods. Everybody understand that? When these nations are praising their fake gods, they're not doing the wrong thing. They was given to have fake gods. It's when you follow those gods, that's when the problem comes in. That's when the jealousy of the Most High has kindled. Okay? Remember, we are like the Father's women, right? Israel is the bride, and the Father is the husband. Everybody understand that? That's the relationship between us and the Father, right? One of the relationships that the scriptures talk about, right? If you're a bride, you're a woman, right? You can't have no other husband in your life. Everybody understand that? You can't look towards another man for guidance. You gotta look to your husband. That's by the law of the Most High God. Right? That's confusion. So we have it today in the families in the world today. You got the wife, she got a husband, but what? Who should we listen to? Her pastor. She got a husband. I don't see what the pastor got to say. Right? I ain't listen to you anyway. I'm gonna go to church. Right? And hear what the pastor got to say. Then he's gonna come tell the husband what the pastor said until he better get himself together. In a righteous family, your husband is your pastor. Anybody understand that? He is your spiritual leader. Yes, you and him may go to a service and go to the elders and get instruction. But if you don't understand the instruction or you're not grasping it, what does the scripture say to do? What do you tell a woman to do? Tell a sister answer that question. If a sister, you have a husband, you come to service, you're not grasping the understanding, what are you supposed to do? Go to who? I'm going to pick somebody if nobody raised their hand. All right? Because I know that Sister Wendy got the answer. Right? What are you supposed to do? If you go to service, you at service. Your husband is at service. You're not grasping. Right? What do you go home and you're a little confused. What are you supposed to do? You what? All right. You ask your husband. Now, if he don't have the answer, then you go get the answer. Right? But that's who you're supposed to ask. You're supposed to ask. You ain't supposed to say, man, listen, I need to go over there to get the answer. Or over there to get the answer. Right? You're supposed to go to your husband to get the answer. This is the order that the scriptures tell us, right? Let's prove all things. Give me that real quick. 1 Corinthians 14. $35, I believe it is. Read it.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 35.
Right?
And if they will learn anything,
Read 34.
34, let your women keep silence in the churches.
Right?
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Right?
But they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
Right. So to be under obedience, does this mean that you can't say one word? No. This is talking about yelling out, talking out of turn, right? Establishing, your point. Right? As women, you're not supposed to do that. What is that? Does understand that? Right? You ain't supposed to be like, no, I don't believe this. I'm not following this. Right? You can't do that. Right? But if you have a question, you want to answer a question, you raise your hand, we answer your question. If you still not get the answer, hold your question. If you're a married woman, deal with your husband. If you're a daughter, deal with your father. All right? Read on.
Verse 35. And if they will learn anything,
right,
let them ask their husbands at home.
Right, ask your husband at home if you're not grasping. Right? And if he can't answer it, then he's going to go get the answer. Right? Or direct you to the answer. Now he can go get the answer, or he can say, all right, you know what, call that brother. He could give direction to get the answer, or go get the answer. Either one. Okay? But the law is saying, let's go ask your husband. Right? Because get Proverbs 6 and 34. Proverbs 6 and 34.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 34.
Right?
For jealousy.
For what?
Jealousy.
For jealousy. We have to understand what jealousy is dangerous, can be a dangerous emotion. Okay. For jealousy, read on.
Is the rage of a man.
Is the rage of a man. You want to get your man enraged? Do something, make him jealous. Right? You want to see the rage of a man. All right, read on.
Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
Therefore, the day of vengeance, right? What day of vengeance is that talking about? Like, when we make the man jealous to vengeance, will be adultery, right? You just say, man caught with another man's wife, that's what? What's the statute on that? Death, right? So, You got to understand that that level of jealousy, right, will get you destroyed. The God we serve is the same way. He is that jealous over us. He catches us believing in another God or following some other book or going into some other doctrine or something that's not of Yahweh. Listen, he get jealous, you in trouble. If you're in here talking about what Buddha said and what Gandhi had to say, you get yourself in trouble. Everyone understand that? Most I don't care what Gandhi had to say, what Buddha said. Okay. Psalms 79 verse 5.
Psalms chapter 79 and verse 5. How long, Most High, wilt thou be angry forever?
Right.
Shall thy jealousy burn like fire?
Right.
Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen, that they have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon my name.
Right. When he's finished being jealous of the wickedness that we have done, he's gonna pour the wrath out on these heathens. When we stop making the Most High jealous by believing in other gods, by following after other philosophies, other ideologies, and we reconcile with our Father, then he's going to destroy these nations. Until then, it's going to be, we're going to continue in this captivity. All right, let's go back to Deuteronomy 32.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and
Deuteronomy 32. And verse 19.
Okay.
Verse 19.
the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verse 19. And when the Most High saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters.
Read.
And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be.
Right?
For they are a very forward generation,
Come on.
children in whom is no faith.
Come on.
They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not of the Most High.
Which is not God. Right? They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. That instruction that he didn't give. Believe in the things that was not told to us by the Most High God. Read on through his scriptures. Read on.
They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
Right. What's that? What people are not a people? Amalek. That's some of them, right? Esau. All these strangers, right? All these strangers, Nimrod and Nebuchadnezzar, and I mean, all of them was ruling over us. The Persians, right? Everybody had their hand on their heel on our neck. Okay.
You say they're not even a people.
They're not even a people. They ain't nothing. Right? Read on.
Okay. Verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Right?
For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn into the Lord's hell.
So why is the white man over us? Why is he shooting us down? Right? Why is he the slave master and we the slave?
We provoked him to anger.
Because we provoke the Most High to anger. This is what happens when you make the Most High angry. Generations of what? It's not because of people say, well, we were better educated. We need to go get the guns. What else have I heard? We need to get politics. We need positions of office. That's not why we're in the condition we're in. Our forefathers didn't die for the right to vote. Our forefathers died because we broke the commandments of the Most High God. That's why our forefathers died. Don't let nobody fool you with that nonsense. Okay? Why do we need a right to vote? Right? You got to think about that for a second. oh, the people died for you to get the right to vote. No, they didn't. They died because they broke the commandments of the Most High God. We angered the Father. We brought him to jealousy. That's why they died. And we're going to keep dying as long as we keep doing that. Everybody understand that? Politics ain't going to change that. It's always going to become, it's going to add to your sin. Because now you're going to be believing in something else that's not God. Right? Read on.
And shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischiefs upon them.
Did he not? All right, read on.
I will spend my arrows upon them. They shall be burnt with hunger and devoured with burning heat and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them with the poison of serpents of the dust.
Come on.
The sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin.
Right.
The suckling also with the man of gray hairs.
Right. Nobody was escaping the destruction of our people, man. They didn't care if you was a baby. The baby, they fed you to alligators. Right? You was an old man, they would, man, the level of carnage that our people went through in this society is ridiculous. They would leave you to die. They would leave you to starve. When you couldn't work no more, they sat you down and they sit there and starve you until you die. Okay? Read on.
Verse 26. I said, I will scatter them into the corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Did he not do that? Right? Before the Most High woke you up, you was black, you was Negro, you was Caribbean, you was Jamaican, Trinidadian, Haitian, you was a Brooklynite, right? You were all these different things. Right? Read on.
Verse 27. Were it not that I fear the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and the Most High have not done all this.
Right?
For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them.
Come on.
Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end.
Right. If our people have some wisdom, they have all these meetings and all these, what do you call it, conscious community, no wisdom at the table. All this conscious community, all these people get together, we gotta build schools, we gotta do this. No one says, yo, maybe we need to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments at the table. Right? Maybe we should get back to our Constitution, our laws, what Yahweh's given us. Be who the Father created us to be. And maybe all this will stop happening. Read on.
Verse 30. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight?
Two put 10,000 to flight. Right? Big house got 4 people in there. They got about 2,000 slaves. And nobody threw over the house. 4 people in the big house. 2,000 slaves in the yard. And nobody did the math. Right? Nat Turner woke up to this truth. That's what they would do the math. It's a lot more of us than them. We didn't go up in that house. Right? Read on.
Except their rock had sold them, and the Most High has shut them up.
Right?
For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges.
Right. So what our rock has sold us, the thing that we believed in, it didn't help. You know?
Verse 32. For their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah.
Right?
Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter.
Come on.
Their wine is the poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asps.
Come on.
Is not this laid up in store with me and sealed up among my treasures?
Come on.
To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, but the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste.
Right. So he let us know that all this will come upon you, Israel. Now, I revert back to the latest slavery that our people went to. But our people went into many captivities, even prior to the transatlantic slave trade. Every time we broke the Most High's will and His laws, we plummeted into this condition called hell. Okay? A lot of people looking for hell. Our people been in hell. Okay? Hold on, let's get hell real quick, and then we'll get back to this chapter. Isaiah 5 and 13.
You start with verse 13.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge,
Right?
and their honorable men are famished.
To have no knowledge, and even our honorable men have no knowledge, that's a captive state, because there's no one to lead you out. It's like we all in a box, and there's no one here to lead us out. Right? You know?
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
Right? Come on.
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
What has enlarged itself?
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
Therefore, hell has enlarged itself. You know what? We all going in it. It enlarged itself because the population has grown. Hell's population has grown immensely. You know?
And opened her mouth.
Right?
Without measure.
Without measure, all Israel went to hell. And we trying to climb out of hell now. All right? That's what we doing. We climbing out of this hell. Right? You know?
And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp.
Right?
And he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
Right. Those sellouts, those that were prideful, everybody's going. We all went as one big happy family. Right? Into captivity. Right? You know, the ones that were very bad, the ones that were not so bad. We all went, though. Nobody skipped this. You know?
And the mean man shall be brought down.
Right?
And the mighty man shall be humbled.
Come on.
And the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled.
Right? We had all these people, the lofty, we had people who were rich, everything like that. We read about our history. You know what I mean? We had things established. We waxing fat. We looking good. Everybody's going. It didn't matter your status. Right? Whether you're a poor man or rich man, guess what? When them Romans besieged that temple and it came across that land, they didn't ask you what was your, you know, how much you got in your 401k. All right? They finna kill you. Right? And lock you up. Take your stuff. All right? You got more stuff, and there's more stuff for them to take. All right? Your head bashed the same way. All right? So keep that in mind as we put our heart and our mind on things of this world. All right? Go back down to Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 36.
No, 32. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 36.
And verse 36. Okay. For the Most High shall judge his people,
right,
and repent himself for his servants, when he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left.
Right, mean that what the Most High gonna have mercy on us. He gonna judge us, but then he gonna repent us himself. Yeah, this is too bad. They got no power. They get demolished out there. He gonna start feeling bad for us, right? You know?
Verse 37. And he shall say, where are their gods, their rock in whom they trusted?
Right? Where's all your false gods? All that, idolatry he was working with, you know?
Which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drink the wine of their drink offerings. Let them rise up and help you and be your protection.
Right? Don't call on me now. Right? You know?
See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive.
Right, so he clearly let you know, I'll kill you, but you give me life. Right? That's the power we serve, you know?
I wound and I heal.
Right?
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Come on,
For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever.
come on.
If I wet my glittering sword, and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me.
Come on.
I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh. And that with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revengeance upon the enemy, rejoice, O ye nations, with his people. For he will avenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people. And Moses came and spoke all the words of this song in the ears of the people. He and was it Hosea, the son of Nun,
Right?
and Moses made an end of speaking all these words to all Israel.
Come on.
And he said unto them, set your hearts unto all the words which I testify upon you this day, which ye shall command your children to observe, to do all the words of this law.
Right, so we are to command our children to observe and do all the words of this law. Okay, we're to teach our children to keep the law. Okay? Read on.
Verse 47. For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life, and through this thing ye shall prolong your days in the land, whether ye go over Jordan to possess it.
Right, so he ain't doing this for no reason. If you want to stay in the land, you better teach your children the law, statute, commandments. That's what he wanted them. All right? Because if you don't teach them, they're going to go astray. And they're going astray, guess what? You finish. The Most High is going to bring wrath down. Read on.
Verse 48. And the Most High spake unto Moses that self-same day, saying, get thee up into this mountain, Abram, unto Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, that is over against Jericho, and behold the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel for a possession. And die in the mount where thou goest up, and be gathered unto thy people.
Right?
As Aaron thy brother died in Mount Hor, and was gathered unto his people, because ye trespassed against me among the children of Israel.
So what do you mean he was gathered to his people? What does that mean? He was gathered to his people. Which people? Where's people at? How was Aaron gathered to his people?
You know, change, right? They involved in the flux for you, right?
Nope. Let's read it again. Read 51.
Verse 51. Because ye trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah, Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because ye sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel.
What's that? Read 50. Sorry.
50.
Yeah.
And die in the mount whither thou goest up, and be gathered unto thy people. As Aaron thy brother died in Mount Hor, and was gathered unto his people.
So how was he gathered to his people? No,
The same way it would say if someone died and say he goes on to his fathers, right?
Right. I mean, your people that's in heaven. You just gather to your people that's in heaven. Because even when we leave here, we have a people. Even when your spirit leave your body, it belongs to a nation. Everybody understand that? Your spirit is not random. Right? People think your nation is only your flesh. Your flesh can show your lineage, but your spirit is part of your lineage. You belong to a people, whether you are here or you gone. You still belong to these people. Okay? So he was gathered unto his people. When he died, he was gathered to his people that what? Were in the heavens. All right? You got peoples in the heavens. Everybody understand that? Read on.
51. Because ye trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah, Kadesh.
Come on.
in the wilderness of Zin, because ye sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel.
Right.
Yet thou shalt see the land before thee, but thou shalt not go thither unto the land which I give the children of Israel.
Right. So Aaron was not able to enter the land. All right. So now this ends the portion for this Shabbat day. Give the Most High, hallelujah. Okay. That was the portion for this Shabbat. And I told you from the beginning, it's going to be a short Shabbat service. So we just went through the portion, which is all of Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. We're going to go and move forward to prepare for the tabernacle. We're going to set up the closing prayers at this point. Bless the Most High. Thank you for giving us the portion, giving us the Shabbat that we have to draw together. Like I instructed before, if you are setting up a tent, you go forth to the park. Even if you're not setting up a tent, you can go forth to the park. Okay? And you can dwell with your brothers and sisters as they, and you can assist them in us creating the environment for the Feast of Tabernacles, for the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles. So we need to set up, a tabernacle so that we can set the feast. So all this has to be broken down and set up out there. All right, so we'll be doing the 8 days, 7 nights, and 8 days of the tabernacle. So, I don't think any questions. Anybody know where the park is? Right, you can Google it if you don't know, but it's straight up power line. You hit Hillsborough. But before you hit Hillsborough, you see on the left hand side. All right. Any other announcements? Anything I'm missing? Elder? Any announcements? If you have items you're bringing, just bring them out there. I know we have ways of keeping stuff cold until the time that they need to be.
Stuff cold?
Right, because they have dishes that need to be.
What about big cooler? You see that big cooler there?
Just got that one freezer. Okay.
Yeah, but you can stack stuff.
All right. Good.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, somebody suggested we have like a fund for people to eat throughout the week, so we can donate to. Do we have that set up, or is it a place where we could, donate if we want to give, so everybody can eat for the week?
Yeah, we did talk about that. I don't think we're able to set it up. Yeah, the person that was going to be able to do it. We can work together communally throughout the week. We couldn't do it ahead of time, but I think communally throughout the week, we'll make that decision as we move forward. And we're all out there. Ultimately, it will be cost effective. You know what I mean? That we'll just bring stuff and have it, and just put it out there. You know what I'm saying? So everybody contribute and then we all eat. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'll be cost effective. So we'll do it that way when we get out there. It just hasn't been officially set up. We do have a tent though, a communal tent that all the stuff that is belong to Light of Zion is going to go into that particular tent. You know what I mean? So that tent will house food and stuff like that. Which it was 10. What tent was it? 9. Tent 9 is the communal tent, at least for the first 4 days. So somebody got up that. So we'll see what happens. But at least for the first 4 days, tent 9 is the communal tent. Okay? So we'll set things up there. That's it. With that being said, I invite you to pray on your rush. Don't stand and face Jerusalem. We set up the closing prayers. I'm going to set up Psalms 133. We're going to set up Psalms 150. Then we're going to Thank the Most High with praise. Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
By Hashem.
Yahweh Shai.
By Hashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Psalms 133 in the last one. Kudash. Shalom.
Shalom.
Amahawa.
Amahawa.
Madawar.
Madawar.
Anad.
Ma.
Sawab.
Sawab.
Wama. Nayam.
Nayam.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Akim.
Akim.
Gum.
Gum.
Yachad.
Yachad.
Kashaman.
Kashaman.
Atuwar.
Atuwar.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Arash. Yerad.
Yerad.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Azakwan.
Azakwan.
Zakwan.
Zakwan.
Aharon.
Aharon.
Yerad.
Yerad.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Malewakiwa.
Malewakiwa.
Kato.
Kato.
Karowan.
Karowan.
Yerad.
Yerad.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Korea.
Korea.
Tazyawan.
Tazyawan.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Sham.
Sham.
Tazawan.
Tazawan.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ab.
Ab.
Habrakat.
Habrakat.
Hayayam.
Hayayam.
I.
I.
Ibalam.
Ibalam.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Tawada.
Tawada.
Damyah.
Damyah.
Amen.
Amen.
Psalm 133 Psalm.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It's like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dews that descended upon the mountain of Zion. There Yahweh commanded the blessing of life, even forevermore, even forevermore.
Hallelujah.
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 Psalms 150 to praise.
Psalm 150 to praise. Praise in Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yahweh in his sanctuary.
Hallelujah.
Praise him in the firmament of his power.
Hallelujah.
Praise him for his mighty acts.
Hallelujah.
Praise him according to his excellent greatness.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the sound of the trumpet.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the psaltery of harp.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the timbrel and brass.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the string instruments and the organ.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the loud cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the high sounding cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Let everything that hath breath praise him Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
By Hashem Mashak Yahushua, the word of God. Amen.
Amen.
Let everything that hath breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Let everything that hath breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
All praises be to power in Almighty and take it for his mercy truly endure forever. We thank thee, Yahweh, for giving us this Shabbat day of peace. We pray that you, Yahweh, that you dwell amongst thy children as we embark upon thy tabernacle. And that we praise thy name continually as we embark on keeping thy laws. All this we thank you for, Yahweh. And we pray that you continue to bless that little sanctuary, the land of Zion. And all the sanctuaries throughout the four corners of the earth. All the occupied Wakim that have called upon thy name in these last days. Send thy grace and thy mercy upon thy children, O Yahweh. For we are so needed. It's so needed amongst us. All this we ask in the name of Mashiach Yahushua. Lord, have breath, praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Lord, have breath, praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
There is no power
Like Yahweh, great King of the universe. Always doing wondrous things. Let all his praise. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Everybody well doing. Hope to see you at the feast. Let's pray. Let's know our Lord. And let's gather together one body, one place. It's not going to be for what it's called. And we're going to hold the things of glory. And we'll glorify the name of the Lord God. Right? All right.